Hi, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of the KGS Business Consultants podcast, where we explore the world of franchising and entrepreneurial journeys. I'm your host, Dimple Patel, and today we are diving into something sweet, literally. We've got a special guest with us today, Brandon Johnson from Taste Bud Kitchens, the creative culinary franchise that's teaching kids and adults the art of cooking and in the most fun possible way. Whether you're a parent looking for something engaging for your child or an entrepreneur searching for your next big business opportunity, you'll want to stick around for this one. Taste Bud Kitchen isn't just about food. It's about creating experiences, building a community, and empowering people to learn something new. And today, we're getting a behind the scenes look at how this amazing brand started and what it takes to be a franchise owner, and the sweet success stories that have come from this growing culinary empire. So grab a seat and let's jump right into it. Brandon, my friend, welcome to our podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Dimple. Thanks for having me.
Brandon, so I'm really excited to dive into the story behind Taste Bud Kitchen. To start, can you share with our listeners how it all began? What sparked the idea of creating a children's cooking school franchise? Like, I imagine that's a pretty unique concept. So I'd love to hear the inspiration behind it. And since those early days, how has the brand evolved? I'm sure there have been some incredible milestones along the way.
Awesome. Yeah, Dimple, I'm happy to share that. Thanks again for having me today. And the whole entire story of Taste Bud's Kitchen, our culinary entertainment franchise, all started with a wonderful CEO and founder. Her name is Jessie Brailsford. Jessie has a very unique story to share too. So she is a former Division I swimmer at none other than Harvard University. And she studied economics while she was at Harvard. And then from there, she went to go work on Wall Street. So she had a very successful career at Wall Street. And on the weekends, what she was doing was hosting a few different kids' cooking classes in her friend's one-bedroom apartment in Lower Soho, New York. So it kind of really took off. And before you know it, she's very entrepreneurially driven. So she was actually going around during the afternoon hours and going into restaurants that were not open during the lunchtime hours and renting out that space, and also doing some baking classes there, some cooking classes, and she loved it. So to the point she loved it so much, she left her career on Wall Street and did this full time. So that was all back in the year 2007, and she signed her first lease for a physical location in 2010. And the cool part about this, it is a brick and mortar brand. And our first location is still there to this day in the heart of New York City. And it's located on the 10th floor of a commercial real estate building.
Wow, that's pretty inspiring. Um, Brandon, can you tell us about the franchise opportunity? Because I know a lot of our listeners are curious about what makes Taste Buds Kitchen such a unique option in the education and culinary space. What do you think sets it apart from other franchises out there? And for those interested, who would be the ideal franchisee? Like, are there any particular skills or backgrounds that you would find beneficial for someone considering franchising?
Great question. So the best way I can describe what Taste Buds Kitchen is, we are a kids kitchen by day, adult BYOB kitchen by night. So our age demographic that we target is ages 2 to 99. So if you're like me, you can bring your 3-year-old toddler to the class in the daytime hours to do a caregiver and me class. And then during the evening time, you can bring your spouse to do a adult date night. So it's a ton of fun, and it covers all different ages, right? You can even bring grandmom and granddad to celebrate a milestone achievement or an anniversary. And we do 1 hour classes, 2 hour, or sometimes even a 3 hour event, which would be either a corporate event, a birthday party, team bonding activities. So a lot of fun stuff that we do there. And Dimple, just like what you said, we do have our ideal candidate of what we're looking for as far as future franchisees. And proud to say that so far this year, we awarded 6 locations across the U.S. And as of today, this just happened hot off the presses. We awarded another individual that is purchasing two locations. So in the California market. So really happy about that. Just continuing to bring on wonderful talent with Taste Buds Kitchen. But our ideal avatar or our ideal franchisee would be somebody that's really engaged and interested in building the community and developing great employees and teams, key skill sets like leadership and organizational capabilities. And here's something that's a real big kicker too, is that they have to have a passion for the culinary arts. There's no formal culinary education required, but we do want them to be familiar around the kitchen, maybe have a passion for the TV shows on Food Network or Bobby Flay, Iron Chef, something like that that, sparks their interest. But I
Mm-hmm.
think most importantly, somebody with a good work ethic, commitment to healthy and productive work culture. I think somebody with a financial business acumen will go very far too, because they're going to be studying those numbers very particularly. And the most important here, Dimple, is just going to be a personality. We want somebody with an extroverted personality that's positive in nature and knows how to engage with our customer base.
Mm-hmm. So Brandon, what kind of investment is typically required to get started, and what can franchisees expect in terms of returns?
Great question. Yeah, so I think that's important for everything, right? What does the item 7 of the FDD say? So in our item 7, we have a low to high end range to start this wonderful brick and mortar culinary entertainment franchise. On the low end, it's $382,000, and on the high end, $531,000. With that being said, the largest expense comes with our leasehold and improvements, which is going to be the build out for the location, and that's between 200 to 300K. For
Mhm.
one location, we have a franchise fee at 49,900. And then the ongoing fees there for the item 6 would be the royalties at 8%, brand fund at 1.5%, and then there's a $2,000 per month local marketing spend.
Okay.
And then the next part you're asking about is the item 19. So item 19 is absolutely wonderful. I've been doing franchising a while now, 15 years to be exact. And this is one of the best item 19s I've ever seen. So across the system, for all of our franchise locations, we are reporting average gross revenues at $741,000
Oh,
with
wow.
a net operating income of 228,000 or 31%.
That's really good. Wow.
And that's just on average. On the high end, we're looking at 1.22 million, and that is netting $392,000.
Wow, that's amazing. And how many locations have you guys allocated so far?
Yeah, so far we were at 19 locations last week. So as of today, now we're at 22 locations awarded so far. Open and operational, we have 10 across the country, and then
Mhm.
we've got the rest are in development right now.
Wow, that's amazing. Um, I love that Taste Buds Kitchen has such a broad appeal with its classes and services. Brandon, can you walk us through what a typical location offers? Like, what kind of experiences do you provide, and how do you make sure that the classes are both fun and
Yeah.
educational for kids and families? I'd love to hear how the business model works for franchisees, like what strategies help them build a loyal client base and really thrive in their communities.
Excellent. Great question there, Dimple. So the different event types that we have kids camps, which are our summer camps. They're absolutely huge for us. I don't know if you have young children yourself, Dimple.
I do.
So I'm
Yeah.
sure you understand the struggle like me, when school's out, what are we going to do during the daytime hours? Because we're still actively working adults, right? So our summer camps are huge for us. And that kind of starts and takes place from May all the way through to August and even into September. But then there's also school holidays. Anytime that there's a school holiday, we are open and we're usually sold out too. And then after that, we have birthday parties. So different age ranges from 3 to 8, 9 to 13, or even 13 to 17. So we've seen a lot of success with that. Our typical birthday parties are going to be done on the weekends, on Saturdays and Sundays. And then we have adult date nights with a BYOB concept. So you can bring a bottle of wine or some champagne or even a craft beer. So that's for husband wife teams or best friends that are kind of going out, just enjoying a night out on the town, and even corporate events. So everybody here that's probably listening works for some type of corporate employer. Imagine the type of work outings that you go out to, whether you throw axes, they take you out for go-karting, or even just a happy hour. So instead of going to those environments, we would prefer our audience coming to TBK, where they can do corporate events, private parties. It's just a ton of fun. And the type of food that we're cooking too, everything is made from scratch. Our number one most popular menu item is going to be our handmade pasta class. I think I've done this now probably over 10 times. We do fresh made fettuccine and also spinach ravioli and a rustic tomato sauce. I absolutely love it. I will go back and do that anytime that it's offered. We also do tasty Thai, which is pineapple chicken satay, pad Thai, veggie summer rolls. I hope I'm not making the audience too hungry on this one, but some other ones that we do too. A taste of Italy with eggplant parmigiana, truffle mushroom risotto, cannolis, a tour of Tuscany with potato gnocchi, brown beige sugar, Tuscan kelp salad. So that's all the adult classes. And then for the kids, again, doing everything from scratch. We got rainbow cupcakes, pizza perfection, which is a whole wheat pizza that we do, vanilla cupcakes, and a battle cupcake session for the kids, or even sliders and shakes for those birthday parties that they can come in and enjoy.
Wow, I feel like I should check out a Taste Buds Kitchen here. It sounds really fun. I think my kids would love it too.
I agree. I think you should too.
I do you guys have a location in Denver?
In Denver, so we have one in development right now. It's in the Centennial area. So that is in
Yeah.
development that we awarded earlier this year. And I've got a few different candidates I'm working with right now that are looking to grow that market as well.
Wow, that's wonderful. I'll definitely check it out, but it sounds amazing. Brandon,
I tell you, it's a lot of fun.
one thing that makes franchises so appealing is the support they offer. So let's talk a bit about that. What kind of trainings do new franchises receive before they launch their own Taste Buds Kitchen? And once they're up and running, how does your team help them with marketing and building relationships with local communities? I'm just curious about the ongoing support. Like, what kind of continued guidance can franchisees expect as they grow their business?
Awesome question. So it all starts with the build out, right? We are a brick and mortar location. So we have a relationship with CBRE, Coldwell Banker Real Estate Partners, to help scout and find that location for the franchisee. They'll also be working hand in hand with Mr. Jeff Brailsford, Jesse's husband, who is our SVP of development. He's got a background as an architect, so he knows the schematics that we've built out. We do require 2,000 square feet for our facilities. It can be a Class A real estate, Class B, Class C, or even an untraditional location because we are a destination style business where people drive extensive lengths to get to our facility. So on top of that, our executive leadership team has some wonderful individuals. We have Jesse there, Jeff, and then a gentleman named Guy Falzerano is the advisor to Jesse. Guy has built a wonderful company in the franchise space, over 30 years of experience with a company called Lightbridge Academy. So he brings all that knowledge and expertise over to Taste Buds Kitchen as we continue to grow to scale because we've got some lofty goals for ourselves. We're looking to open over 200 locations in the next 5 years, and we're right on that track right now. And then as far as onboarding, we have a wonderful team in place. So there's a director of culinary entertainment named Chef Jasmine. She develops all the different recipes that we have, and that's always changing it up. She does a lot of R&D too to see what's successful to make sure that we can prepare that meal within 2 hours or less and provide all that fun nest, if you will, to Taste Buds Kitchen. So she'll record herself, send it off to the franchisees and the host. In our business model, the host is the chef actually hosting that class. We also have some other wonderful individuals that we brought on this all-star team. So we have a director and training specialist named Erin. She is fantastic. Also a director of operations in our New York City location, Melinda. She's going to serve as the business coach that'll be helping out boots on the ground approach to the franchisee as they're getting closer to that grand ribbon cutting on day one and help them out with operational efficiency because that's the most important part about franchising, right? Following a system, following a process, making sure everything is in compliance. And we've got a wonderful team to help do that.
Wonderful. Brandon, I've been noticing that cooking classes, especially for kids, are becoming more and more popular. How have you seen the demand grow, and what trends are shaping the future of Taste Buds Kitchens? Are there any particular markets or regions where you're focusing your expansion efforts? And just as importantly, what would you say really differentiates Taste Buds Kitchen from other children's activity or culinary brands that are out there?
Another great question, Dimple. So, what I think that we do, our competition, direct competition would be somebody that specializes in culinary entertainment for kids. I have seen some competitors out there. However, sometimes I don't want to mention any of the competitors by name. However, you can see in their branding and their naming, and even the interior design is kind of geared towards kids. I like Taste Buds because we offer the culinary entertainment to both kids and adults. You're not going to go into a Taste Buds facility as an adult and say, "Oh, this seems a little bit kiddie-ish," with cartoon characters in the wall and things like that. The one thing that I love is just our expansion and growth too. So we do have some hot markets that we're targeting right now. The whole entire state of Texas is wide open. So I know Texas is a hotbed for franchising, so we'd love to get more into the state of Texas, along with Florida. So all the listeners out there, if you're located in Texas, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, you name it, we're registered in all the different states right now. We just became registered in California, and that's when I was just telling you we awarded 2 new locations. That was in the state of California as of today. So looking forward to continue to grow there. But the one thing that I think it's a little bit different than us compared to anybody else is, what we offer, fun culinary entertainment classes. We've been doing this for over 16 years. So if you ask Jesse, our baby, our brand is old enough to drive at this point. So really cool to kind of see all that. And it's fun. It's where somebody kind of goes to just to go out for a date night, go out with some friends just to cut loose instead of them going to a restaurant and, getting that bill. It's a lot of more fun going to a place like this, learning a skill set and kind of carrying away some memories along the way.
Wonderful. So I'm sure there are some really inspiring stories from your franchisees. Could you, Brandon, share one of those success stories with us? What did that franchisee do right to achieve such success? And on the flip side, what are some challenges that new franchisees face? And how does your team at Taste Buds Kitchen help them overcome those hurdles?
Great question, Dimple. So we've got many good stories. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. The thing I've seen lately as I'm building up this relationship with these franchisees, I've got 2 individuals that as of this year, they've been in the system since around 2019, 2020. So they navigated their business through the most difficult time for any business owner, which was during the pandemic. And they came out, on top and came out successful too, to the point that both of them here in 2024 felt so strongly about the brand was to expand. So each one of those owners that I'm talking about in particular both grew to 2 locations, signed their letter of intent, and are growing their business for 2025. Now they will be multi-unit owners within Taste Buds Kitchen. So super happy to see that. As far as overcoming objections, the one thing that sticks out in my mind is it's difficult to find a brick and mortar location, right? It's not easy. So I am fully confident in TBK because we do have that partnership with CBRE. We did have some franchise candidates that were awarded earlier this year, and they were having a lot of difficulty finding that location. But they kind of stayed on course, listened to the guidance and support from everybody there. And believe it or not, they just signed their LOI, their letter of intent, as of about a month ago. So really happy to see those franchisees that we awarded. I saw them in person at the TBK Summit, which is their annual conference. And it was just good to kind of, cheers to them with the next stage in their life, which is going to be small business ownership.
Mhm. Brandon, before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your advice for anyone out there thinking about investing in a Taste Buds Kitchen franchise. What should they know going in? And lastly, how does Taste Buds Kitchen foster a sense of community among your franchisees? And also, what excites you the most about the future of the brand?
Dimple, you keep giving me some great questions today. I love it. So I guess the first question is, what excites me about TBK? It's everything, right? It's the culture that we just kind of breathe within TBK. It's just, I've been doing franchising for a very long time with some very well-known brands, Subway restaurants, Chick-fil-A. And I've never seen a company culture like this where it is truly iron sharpens iron and people want to see one another succeed. I'm used to people, if you're down the street from me, it's almost turf wars, right? It's my location versus your location. But we don't see that at TBK. I've got two individuals that are both in the same state. And believe it or
Mhm.
not, they're actually best of friends. They share best practices with one another. They truly understand that, in order to grow a brand, it takes all of us together. And we're at that infancy stage still, even with us being 16 years in. But we've got some lofty goals to grow this thing to over 200 locations. And the thing that kind of excites me the most is, I'm a patron myself. So, I mean, I've take my 3-year old to these classes on the weekends for one of the caregiver and me classes. And a few weeks ago, I actually took my mother for the first time. Her after hearing about this wonderful brand for the last year, she finally got to see it firsthand. And believe it or not, she jumps right on Facebook and posts about it with some pictures. And now she's got all of her friends interested in classes now with Taste Buds Kitchen.
That's amazing. And one thing that fascinates me, Brandon, is the company culture. Like I love what you just said, that two franchisees in one state, best of friends. I'm guessing you have something, Taste Buds Kitchen corporate has something to do with creating that kind of culture, that interdependence. Can you just tell me a little more about that?
I will, yeah. And I love the company culture we have here at TBK. Jesse Brelsford is an amazing founder, CEO, and also leader. So everything is her brainchild. She's very intentional with everything she does. So we do have core values within Taste Buds Kitchen. It goes through the acronym of kitchens. So to be kind and positive, act with integrity, have a twinkle in your eye for the guest as they're coming into our location, consistency, happy hard workers, being event ready, no surprises. So even if there's a surprise, listen, we're not perfect, right? There's are going to be things that go wrong within the class. We don't skip a beat. We continue to march on and just make sure that we own up to any type of surprises that do happen. And then last but not least is smiling support. So we support everyone in the TBK family and always smile. And I think you can really feel that from the moment you walk into our kitchen to take one of our classes or working within the TBK system.
That's wonderful, Brandon. Thank you so much, Brandon, for joining us today and giving us such a great insight into the incredible world of Taste Buds Kitchen. It's clear that your brand has truly created something special, offering both meaningful experiences for families and exciting opportunities for franchisees.
Well, Dimple, thanks again for having me today. I look forward to working with you in the future. And anybody that's interested in learning more about Taste Buds Kitchen, please reach out to Dimple Patel, and we can kind of go from there.
Thank you so much. And for those of you listening, if you're considering franchising or curious about whether Taste Buds Kitchen or another brand might be the right fit for you, I'd love to help as a franchise consultant. I'm here to guide you through the process using my personality and industry fit tests to match you with the ideal opportunity. So, yeah, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for tuning in today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with others who might benefit. Again, I'm Dimple Patel, and I look forward to helping you on your journey to business ownership.